Thanks for staying with us. As part of efforts to maintain the quality and integrity of the Nigerian standard passport, the federal government has approved an upward review of the fees for the passport effective the 1st September. Now, based on this review, the 32-page passport booklet with 5-year validity, previously earlier priced at 35,000 naira, will now be 50,000 naira, while the 64-page passport booklet with 10-year validity, which was 70,000 naira, will be 100,000 naira. The fees remain unchanged in the diaspora. The Nigerian Immigration Service says it regrets any inconvenience this increase might cause prospective applicants and assured Nigerians of its unwavering commitment to transparency and quality service delivery at all times. Let's now talk politics. Acting chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Umaru Damagum, says the criticism against his leadership will not deter him from ensuring that there is stability within the party. The acting chairman also inaugurated committees on reconciliation and disciplinary action. TVC News senior correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
This is the inauguration of the committees on national reconciliation and disciplinary actions. Another attempt to reorganize the People's Democratic Party after 3 successive election defeats has severely fractured Nigeria's main opposition party. A previous reconciliation committee saddled with the task of settling differences between aggrieved members, led by former President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, had submitted its report just before the 2023 general election. But the fallout of that election has created a need for another reconciliatory effort.
I'm very clear. The truth must be told all the time. This party should not be allowed to die.
The acting national chairman of the PDP, who has increasingly faced criticisms from different quarters, both within and outside the party, says he is unfazed, but committed to ensuring the stability and progress of the party.
People are making me very popular lately. Anytime you open social media, television, it's Damagun. Honestly speaking, I've started contemplating it's high time I throw my self into the ring to also buy for the presidency of this country. Because I've become popular. Even though negative to bring me down, but I'm not deterred. I have a responsibility to this party to keep it safe and stable.
2 prominent members of the People's Democratic Party, Olagunsoye Oyinlola and Tom Ikimi, have their jobs cut out as they chair the reconciliation and disciplinary committees. But executing this task at hand will not be a walk in the park. Recent diatribes from the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, who is an aggrieved member of the PDP, another from Ikenga Ugochinyere, a PDP lawmaker, and criticisms from the elder statesman Edwin Clark may have complicated an already bad situation.
You will agree with me that unfortunate bickering, small and big fights, and all sorts of internal strikes have been the bane of our strength. Bitterness and recriminations are almost a permanent threat to our existence as a political party.
The People's Democratic Party has already fixed its gaze on the 2027 general election. The establishment of these committees is just one of many other steps to reposition a once dominant political party that held sway at the federal government for 16 years. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
And as the PDP inaugurates reconciliatory and disciplinary committees, Chieftain and former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the party, Diron Deyemi, joins me now on the news. Good to have you join us.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So one of the complaints, as is were, of some members of your party is about the leadership of the party. And some of us have asked the acting chairman of the party to resign it is that same chairman who has now inaugurated this committee. How does that work, and how will that, help alleviate some of these complaints coming from members of the party?
It's quite unfortunate that I have to tell you that PDP is in a complete mess. Nothing is going right for the party as of now. Because you see, where do I start from? The chairman who is setting up a reconciliation committee, even himself needs reconciliation with the member of the National Working Committee to start with. And and we don't understand, even the man that is being selected to be the chairman of the reconciliation committee ought to know that the whole thing will have to start from the people that even inaugurated them. If the head is rotting, you can be assured that there's nothing going right with the whole body. I don't understand. I don't even understand the whole essence of the reconciliation. Who is reconciling who? The whole party, right from the chairman to the heads of the show, they are in crisis. And these are the people that are setting up reconciliation to go and reconcile who? People who are supposed to take care of the party have abandoned it. And these are the governors. Not only the governors sit down together and realize that this is the platform that made them to become whoever they are today. It is not right to destroy that ladder. Not until they realize that party will continue to be in the mess. Because PDP is structured in a way that it is he who pays the piper that dictates the tune. They are the one that have the money. They are the one that should cut short. They are the one that are financing the party. So they need to put every party in place. And if you want to start reconciliation, the only two pillars are causing crisis in PDP, Atiku and Wike. Remove the two of them, PDP will reconcile. There's nothing to reconcile again. Wike is holding the jugular of the party. And Atiku's ambition is holding down the party. And with the two of them disagreeing, with the two of them having the members of the party queuing behind them, PDP will not move forward.
But we've also seen people, members of your party like Ugochiyere Ikenga and Chief Bode George also, stating some grievances they have within the party. And so I want to ask you, because it seems like all of this have happened, just after the PDP primaries, presidential primaries, nothing has remained in the party. Why is it so difficult? I know you have mentioned Wike and Atiku, but why is it that there is no one who can rise to the occasion to resolve these issues, even as we see what's playing out in Rivers State?
That is the unfortunate part that is where we are in this crisis till now. Nobody will face Wike and tell him that what he is doing is wrong. And nobody is ready to tell Atiku the right thing. And even the BOT among themselves, they are even divided. They are not speaking with one word. As elderly as they are, they cannot put their foot down and say, yes, this is what we want in this party. And just like I said, they don't have that power. I mean the BOT himself. The BOT, they don't have the power. It's the governors. It is the governors. They need to sit down. They are the one that has the money that are financing the party. You cannot finance the party and not have a say in what goes wrong or what goes right there. But among themselves, is there that unity? That is the issue. So I believe the solution is with the governors. Let the governors take up the challenge and say, yes, we want to restore the sanity of this party.
And by the governor, you mean who?
All PDP governors.
All right. So I also want to ask you, if it's possible, because the idea of this is to ensure that PDP reposition itself as the leading alternative in the country. But do you see the possibility of that with these new committees?
No, not at all. Not in any way. A party that's in a crisis cannot render any useful opposition to a sitting government. No. Even within the PDP, we have governors who are even praising the opposition, who are saying, yes, Bola Tinubu is trying his best. We have within the opposition, the PDP, a serving minister who is always defending the federal government. So where is the opposition? Which role are we playing? We are not playing any role. We are not an alternative political party to APC. Until the governors knows and realize the importance of reconciliation in PDP, we continue to be in this mess. Since the primary election of Atiku, we have been in this mess and we are still in it. So where is the hope? We are frustrated. The membership are frustrated. Nobody is happy with what is going on. But PDP is an institution. It will not die. Not that it will die. But we don't want this crisis to continue and linger more than necessary, that even next time we will not even be able to produce a presidential candidate.
All right, Chieftain, former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the party, Duro Odeyemi, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And still ahead on the news at 1, Academic Staff Union of Universities issues 21-day ultimatum to federal government over unresolved issues in 2019 agreement. Stay with us for this and more.
Voted as the best TV station of the year. TVC News breaks into the core of every event as they happen. Following all nationwide big and impactful stories. Without the news from every perspective. Covering every human angle. I am Veronica, bringing you the news you would want to watch. Sometimes, it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
School, I need students, but I need teacher.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything.
If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet sour taste for all. Their demands, a familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development, as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only.
Thanks for staying with us. A reminder of our top stories. Justice Olukayode Ariwola retires as 22nd Chief Justice of Nigeria. Bandits kill 13 farmers in Alawa community in Shiro local government area of Niger State. And outside Nigeria, search continues for one person still missing after luxury yacht sank in storm off coast of Sicily on Monday. And out to this rather sad news in Niger State. 13 farmers have been killed by bandits at the Ijuwa fringes of Alawa community in Shiro local government area. Chairman of Shiro local government area, Akilu Isiako, confirmed the killings during an interview with local radio station in Mina. According to Mr. Isiako, 9 of the victims were shot dead on their farms, while 4 others were killed in separate locations on the same day. Reports from local sources also suggest that the community may have been targeted because some of its members were suspected of providing intelligence on bandit movements to security agencies. Acting Governor of Niger State, Yakubu Garuba, who condemned the attack, described it as satanic and callous. Mr. Garuba also expressed condolences to the families of the victims and Shiroro community. Right, let's bring in our senior reporter, Chinemi Bami, who joins me for more updates on this development. Chinemi, bring us update from that community. We understand that 13 farmers were killed.
Hi, Patrick. Right now, I'm here at Shiro Local Council, about probably 30 minutes a 1 hour drive away from Mina, the state capital, where this unfortunate incident happened, right? An update to that story is that some miners were part of those that were killed as well. I just finished speaking with a young man whose elder brother was killed at the mining site yesterday. Now, Shiroro local council is not new to banditry attacks. This place has been under heavy banditry attack in the last couple of years. And yesterday, farmers were also killed as well. Right here today, the acting governor, I beg your pardon, is here to commiserate with the people, and an event is going on with the people inside the hall right behind me, just to commiserate with the people. Right now, about 8 bodies have been recovered. The search and rescue operation is still going on. Or search operations rather is still going on inside the bush to get more bodies of those that were killed.
And what can you tell us about the security response during that attack and so far?
Okay, as I yesterday, there wasn't any immediate response as best as I know. Security response to that area. The area is called Niger. In fact, this is the first time such incident is happening around that location. But this entire local government council is usually under attack by bandits. But so the security response was not as fast as it was expected. Just recently, security operatives were pulled out of Alawa still in the same local council, and we saw that the people in that area had to move from that place for fear of being attacked by bandits. Now, the major cause of attack in this place has been the mineral resources in this place. You could find gold in this area, and bandits have been attacking miners every time. I believe it's so that they can get control over these assets. When people leave, then they get a free hand to operate.
And one of the reports we're also getting is that some of those killed, or the community was targeted because some members were suspected of providing intelligence on bandit movements to security agencies. Can you speak more on that, or just talk to us more on that?
You know, part of the security challenge in this place has always been people leaking out intelligence information, especially within the community members. A couple of years ago, it was quite right, but right now that has reduced. But hearing that recently shows that such activities has returned, where you have locals sharing information with bandits and giving them heads up on how they can come to attack. And this, I heard, that was what happened in this recent attack. That members of the community, informants, you know, it reduced in a couple of some years ago, which aided the security operations in this place. But hearing that returning right now, I think it's a bit disturbing for security operatives and members of the community, knowing that some people within the community are giving information to bandits, and that was what happened.
All right, thank you so much, Chinemi, for that update. I'm sure we'll get more updates from you subsequently. Our correspondent, senior reporter, live for us, from Niger State. Let's now turn to politics. Ahead of the November the 16th governorship election in Ondo State, hundreds of women in Ondo town have pledged support for Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Senior reporter Ayodeji Muradeyo has more in this report.
Ondo town came alive as women gathered to drum support for Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa in the November 16th governorship election. The program put together by the Office of the Special Advisor to the Governor on Women Affairs was indeed a carnival-like event as women from different wards graced the event. Addressing the women, the special advisor to the state governor on women affairs, Seun Osamaye, urged them to embark on an aggressive campaign before the election. She described Governor Aiyedatiwa as a man destined to lead the state to an enviable height.
To go down to the grassroots and talk to our women, to reassure them that the governor loves them and the governor has massive plans for them. My message to women is to come out en masse to support the governor. I'm glad that our women can see the light in the governor. they can see that we don't have an alternative to Governor Lucky Orimisan. Ayedatiwa.
A former member of the State House of Assembly, Ade Adeniyi, and other leaders urged the women to be united and remain focused in their support for the governor.
Preparing very well for November 16th election, so that our party will win massively. People will vote massively for the candidates of our party, His Excellency Lucky Orimisan. The women are always at the head of affairs there. So we are in charge. That's why we have so much confidence in him that he's going to win. He has no competitor as far as this November 16 is concerned, by the special grace of Almighty.
This gathering is to assure and reassure the governor, our own governor Ayedatiwa, that our women in Ondo, majority, I can say 90% of women in Ondo are for him. And this is just to reassure him.
The women were also advised to take the campaign to the grassroots. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Ondo.
In other news, the Academic Staff Union of Universities has given the federal government a 21-day ultimatum to address all outstanding issues. National President of ASUU, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, said this at a press conference in Umuahia. Unena Gabriel has details.
The Academic Staff Union of Universities has been on the shoulders of the federal government, pressing for their overall welfare. Among the issues are review and signing of the renegotiated 2009 agreement, payment of outstanding and academic allowances, proliferation of public universities, and removal of universities from the Treasury single account.
The union undertook a comprehensive review of the outcomes from its engagement with federal and state governments on various outstanding issues that have encumbered the development of our university and hindered university workers' drive to reposition them for the transformation of Nigeria as a country. The meeting further appraised worsening living and working conditions in our universities and the nation at large. The meeting received alarming reports on the failed promises of the government in addressing the lingering issues that forced the union to embark on a nationwide strike between February and October 2022. Seasoned and experienced scholars and lecturers have continued to flee to other countries that are less endowed than Nigeria, but where their expertise is better appreciated.
The federal government has not held any major meeting with the union despite the threat to embark on an industrial action.
ASUU at its last meeting resolved as follows: reject the slow pace of intervention by the Minister of Education in resolving the aforementioned issues.
The union plans to reconvene at the expiration of the 21 days notice to the federal government to take appropriate decisions. Naina Gabriel, TVC News, Umudike, Abia State.
The Bayelsa state government has partnered with the South Korean government to develop smart agriculture and manufacturing in the state. Governor Doye Diri also relayed plans for power generation in the state. Joseph Kande has details.
The 134 Executive Council meeting of the Bayelsa state government welcomes back the state's delegates to South Korea for the intensive workshops and training geared towards forming a partnership to boost agricultural development and increase local production and manufacturing in the state. The Bayelsa State Governor, Doye Diri, charges the high-powered delegation led by the Commissioner for Agriculture to replicate their findings in the state.
The Korean system is ready to deal with Bayelsa State in agriculture. And not only in agriculture, I've also appealed to them to extend to other areas. I went around myself seeing the rice factory from end to end. At the end of the day, just as I charged our team, whatever you have seen there, whatever you have learnt there, bring it back home.
We had official visiting and discussion with Kuika Training, the president of Joinbok International Cooperation Agency. because we've already established an understanding that they will share with us high-yielding rice seedlings. And they are also very ready to assist with provision of tractors.
In light of the blackout orchestrated by the actions of vandals, the governor also revealed the plans of the state to stabilize electricity through local power generation in the state.
I have put the Commissioner for Power and the Managing Director on electricity, Bayelsa State Electricity Company, on their toes, working with the federal government to ensure that we will not continue to be in darkness. And beyond that immediate one that we are doing, I have put them also on their toes to see how we can have an independent power supply in Bayelsa State.
The occasion also witnessed the swearing-in of the chairman of Ogboin, South Tarakiri and Ogbia Central Rural Development Authority, Joseph Kunde, TVC News, Inaugurates.
Let's now turn to the northern region of the country. Prominent political elites from the north have created a group called League of Northern Democrats. The 226-member group led by former governor of Kano State, Ibrahim Shekarau, as interim chairman, is meant to address the challenges affecting the growth and economic development of the northern region. Senior reporter Habida Lawal reports.
The constant struggle for greater influence, inclusion, accountability and representation in the northern Nigeria is central to understanding trends in the region's politics. Northern Nigeria is witnessing an upheaval in its political and social space. This group of northern leaders say overcoming the North's considerable problems relating to development and security are crucial to the realization of a shared and prosperous future for all of Nigeria.
Northern Nigeria is having the short side of the stick in the Nigeria enterprise. Despite its large population, despite its hold on to power, despite of everything, we have a short stick of it. So the League of Northern Democrats is a faction of the elites of the North that came together as like minds to help resolve northern problems.
We need to address and enlighten the people on the need for good governance. Number 3, we thought we need to enlighten the people on the growth of the economy, wealth creation. Because no matter how good a president is, or a governor is, or chairman of a local government, if you don't have a sound economic environment, there is nothing you will do today without resources. So we need to identify how do we boost the area of the economy. Number 4, we felt the issue of education is relevant. Education is the most important vehicle of change in any society. And we must sit up to ensure that the correct education, functional education, is really impacted on the generality of the people.
The League of Northern Democrats said it will convene a strategic summit to restore the region to a place of pride in Nigeria's political and economic space. Habida Lawal, TVC News, Abuja.
And to a bit of health, female state commissioners for health, lawmakers, and the special advisor to President Tinubu on health say they will collectively do all it takes to reduce the high burden of maternal mortality by at least 20% in the country. This and other issues formed discussions at a meeting to tackle challenges in the country. Kemi Balogun has details, and then we'll return with the business update.
Nigeria's 40 million women of childbearing age suffer disproportionately high levels of health issues surrounding childbirth. It is estimated that Nigeria has approximately 58,000 maternal deaths, accounting for 19% globally. Each year, approximately 262,000 babies die at birth, the world's second highest national total. This high maternal and child mortality rate in Nigeria sticks out like a sore thumb and is one of the greatest challenges in the country's health sector. To address this, the special advisor to the President on Health has organized this casual meeting to seek collaboration and support by doing more both nationally and subnationally to find solutions to reducing the needless deaths of mothers and their babies.
See that there's increased alignment with focus on women's and health, especially reproductive, maternal, newborn and child health in Nigeria, including elderly women. Share knowledge and experiences. We identify challenges and opportunities. We explore solutions and collaborations. How do we make meaningful collaborations?
Infant mortality rate, we said it has to be below 12. We have 67 now. We don't know if by 2030 we'll be able to even go lower. And we hope that the NDHS that will be done next will show because we're all doing a lot of work, but we need to see it. If it's not there in the data, it means it has not been done.
They believe that an increase in funding, improving primary healthcare services, and building the capacity of health workers are measures that can help to reduce the trend by at least 20%.
Adolescent health, we need to be sure that they are really cared for. We need to be sure that we have adolescent-friendly areas for them that will receive them at the primary health centers, not the ones that will blame them or be judgmental to them, and they will just run away. And we need to make sure that we have available contraception and it's taught properly on it.
Resources. The health sector has to have more funding. This is where the legislature will have to be intentional to increase the budget for healthcare.
This casual but bold approach seems to be the first step in directing focus towards finding solutions to the high maternal and child mortality rate in the country. Kemi Balogun, TVC News, Abuja.
And in business news, recent business expectations report by the Central Bank of Nigeria reveals that businesses are expected to perform better in August with an optimism index of 7.6 points. This survey measures overall confidence in macroeconomic conditions with a sample of 1,600 business owners in the country, covering different sectors of the economy. Optimism index for businesses for the next 3 months was slated at 19.3 points, while for the next 6 months at 30.7. According to the report, the expected drivers for optimism on the macroeconomy in the next month are mining, quarrying, electricity, gas and water supply at 35.3 points, agri 9.9 points, market services 7.8 points, manufacturing 6.3 points, and non-market services 4.8 points. The Nigerian Data Protection Commission has fined Fidelity Bank PLC 555.8 million naira for an alleged breach of National Data Act. The National Commissioner for the NDPC, Mr. Vincent Olatunji, disclosed this at the Nigerian Data Protection Act General Application and Implementation Directive Validation Workshop in Abuja. According to Mr. Olatunji, the investigation commenced in April 2023, which was later concluded and found the bank culpable. Recall that President Bola Tinubu signed the NDP Act into law on June 12, 2023, which empowers the Commission to enforce compliance on organizations for data protection by way of fine and other means. On the 17th July 2024, President Bola Tinubu sent an executive bill to the Senate requesting an amendment to the Finance Act 2023 via the Finance Bill 2024 to help fund capital infrastructure development, access to education and healthcare, and other public welfare initiatives. The bill sets to impose a one-time tax core windfall tax of 50% on the realized foreign exchange profit derived by banks in the 2023 financial year. On our flagship business show, Business Nigeria, a commercial practice group head at Anderson Nigeria, Mr. Debusuyi Adedokun, gave his own thoughts around this bill.
The bill was eventually reviewed by the Senate, and it was increased from 50% to 70%. And so what this bill, or what this tax would do if it is assented by the president, is to impose a one-off 70% tax on the transactions, foreign exchange, profit from foreign exchange transaction. And invariably, what that will do is to increase the cost of, tax administration of these banks, because they will be subjected to any mode of tax when this is recorded. And what that will mean is that the tax will take into consideration the profit that has been derived by the banks from period commencing from June 2023 to 31st of December 2025 rather. One thing that is clear to everyone is the retrospective application of the tax when it is eventually accepted to. And what it will do is that it tends to tax banks based on what they have derived or the profit they generated from period commencing from, like I said, from June 2023 to 31st of December 2025.
The Nigerian Economic Summit Group has convened its National Economic Dialogue in Abuja as it seeks to re-strategize Nigeria's economic future. Key stakeholders at the event acknowledged that Nigeria's current economic standing falls short of its potential and emphasized the need for stronger collaboration to drive growth and secure the country's place on the global economic stage. Uloma Oyemachi reports.
Since the introduction to democracy in 1999, Nigeria's economy has experienced fluctuations, but it has yet to achieve the level of independence required to become a significant global economic force. This event, organized by the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, themed Nigeria's Economic Future, 25 Years of Democracy and Beyond, brought together leading figures from both the public and private sectors. The NESG chairman provided key insights into the current economic landscape.
We must continue to reduce our dependence on oil by developing other sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture, and technology. Infrastructure is the backbone of a thriving economy. We must continue to invest in critical infrastructures such as road.
Among the guests were the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning and the Chief of Staff to the President, who shared their perspectives on the challenges and opportunities ahead.
President today, who, as God will have it, has been a participant actively in the last 25 years. He ran a state which is the largest economy in the country.
And if a 200-year-old democracy is still talking about its economic future, which is on the front burner of the campaign in perhaps the most advanced democracy in the world today, then we should not applaud, but accept that in 25 years, we have come this far.
As the dialogue progressed, Dr. Segun Omisakin, the chief economist of NESG, laid the foundation for the panel discussions.
The interface, the policy-making process, the policy itself is a product of politics.
We had better indices in the 80s and now we're almost at a stagnation point right now. But there is another opportunity that can help us jumpstart that and move us forward.
As a prelude to the National Economic Summit that will be held in October, today's dialogue has now set the stage for even more critical conversations that will go ahead to shape Nigeria's economic path forward. Uloma Oyemachi, TVC News, Abuja.
European stocks tick higher and the dollar remains subdued after